This weekend, I'm at the Milwaukee Pokémon Trading Card Game Regional Championships. It's been a while since I've played in a regional. The last one I attended was Indianapolis in 2024, where I finished in the top 8 with Chien-Pao Baxcalibur. And a lot has changed since then. I'm a dad now. My wife Natalie and I have a beautiful son who just turned a year old. I'm also no longer grinding for the World Championships. After competing to try and be the best in the world for about a decade, I called it quits. I'm in a different season of my life now. My priorities have shifted, and the sacrifice required to make it to the World Championships just doesn't make sense anymore. In other words, I'm washed. So why am I here? For fun, right? That's the idea. But I am way too competitive to have fun while not performing my best. It's miserable. But thankfully, I've been in this situation before. I've been competing at things for as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, it was soccer games, trying out for club teams. When I got to high school, that turned into racing, track and field, cross-country meets, competing at state championships. In college, I kept running. It was the structure of my life, the way I made friends, and I was pretty fast. Not fast enough to make a career out of it, but pretty fast. By my senior year, I'd won a conference title in the 800 meters and a Division III NCAA national championship title in the distance medley relay. When I graduated, the structure I had built my life around disappeared. I had sufficiently burnt myself out on running, and I didn't know what to do. So I did a very millennial thing and got super into Pokemon. I started going to tournaments, and before I knew it, Pokemon cards were my life. I wanted to hold jobs that let me go to Pokemon tournaments on weekends. All my best friends were from Pokemon tournaments. All my extra money went to Pokemon tournaments. All my extra time went to thinking about Pokemon tournaments. Pokemon was the structure of my life now. I took all of the things I'd learned from being an athlete and applied them to being a Pokemon player. And like running, I got pretty good. I was never the best, but I was pretty good. This game has changed a lot in the 15 years I've been involved. YouTube has changed a lot in the 8 years I've been making videos. I have also changed a lot. I'm still in the process of trying to figure out how to take pressure off of myself to perform and just have fun. I'm trying to figure out where I fit into this whole Pokemon equation. But I know it'll just take time. When I graduated from college, I had to stop running for a while. I had burnt myself out on competing and didn't really enjoy the toil of training anymore. But lately, I've been able to revisit running and find a lot of joy in it again. I'm really fat and slow compared to what I used to be. I weigh 50 pounds more than I did in college. But it's been so long now that I don't compare myself to my old self. Things are just different now. I'm excited to see what this next chapter of my Pokemon career has in store. While I haven't been able to dedicate as much time as I used to competing, I've been able to put a lot more time and effort into my productions and YouTube videos, and I'm really proud of how those are turning out. I'm also really proud of the work that I've put in to help Full Grip Games grow from a local card store in Akron, Ohio, to one of the biggest card stores in the country. Full Grip is vending the Milwaukee Regional Championships, and they always do such a great job. Hopefully, if you attended the event, you had an opportunity to stop by and maybe buy something or just say hello. Shopping at the Full Grip booth at events or online at fullgripgames.com directly supports the content that I create here on Tricky Gym and allows me to make these videos that I love. So thank you so much for supporting the channel by shopping at fullgripgames.com. For this event, my friends and I got our hands on Tord's groundbreaking and somewhat secret Mega Kangaskhan EX Mega Absol EX deck. I was pretty set on playing Gholdengo EX or Ceruledge EX at Milwaukee, but about a week out, we started seeing this crazy Mega Absol EX deck on the ladder. Curious, our group reverse engineered it based on what we saw and started tearing up the ladder with it ourselves. I wasn't in love with Gholdengo or Ceruledge, so making the switch over to this exciting new rogue was an easy pick for me. Not to mention, it was a crazy big basic deck and kind of reminded me of the tag team days with Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX, so how could I pass that up? After spending the week trying to figure out the deck to the best of our abilities on short notice, Riley, Jesse, and I all committed to play Kangaskhan Absol at Milwaukee.
That's right. So I got to swag it out, you know?
That's right. How you feeling about the secret deck?
I feel really good about it, actually. I think the deck is strong. It's just going to be my ability to play it, you know? So
yeah.
That's the one thing I'm a little worried about. So,
it's big basics.
I know, it is big basics. I love that. No evolutions. It's my kind of deck, you know?
For sure.
But it is like more of like kind of more control-y aspect to it, so I'm not really known to play decks like that, so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to have like some control of my games and just, you know, hands, you know?
You mean like electric generator?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more control than that.
Yes,
so.
yes.
Yeah.
You want to tails?
Tails.
Tails.
I'll go second.
Sounds good.
Just one round one, a 1-0. My opponent was playing Terrabox. I was very afraid that they were playing Raging Bolts. Raging Bolt is a very bad matchup for this deck, as Jesse and I discovered last night. But game one went awesome. I was able to establish a kind of low prize count board. But once I realized that it was Terrabox, I established a Mega Kangaskhan with a Bravery Charm, and I basically just wore my opponent out of switch cards. He was playing a Turo and a switch, and I was able to just repeatedly bring up Noctowl, clutch. I mean, the game took a little over 30 minutes because I was just using Countercatcher Boss's Orders, bringing up the Noctowls, using clutch. I had the Pecharon out. I was using Subjugating Chains to move the Yveltal into the active so that it would accrue poison damage, and then was using Monkey Dory to move that poison damage onto my opponent's board. So it was like the perfect execution, honestly. By halfway through the game, I was confident that there was no way that my opponent was going to be able to win that game one, and he didn't scoop early enough, so he played it out a while. And then in game two, there was really no chance of it concluding. But I still felt like I was in a pretty good spot game two, so excited about how the deck worked in round one. It was sweet. Round two did not go my way. Unfortunately, I played against Goldango. Should be a great matchup. But in game one, I opened slow, and my opponent was playing the Energy Search Pro Goldango with 2 Scizor. So I was under some heat pretty fast, and my opponent got a turn 2 one-hit KO on Kangaskhan that I opened. And then by the time I got out Cornerstone, I realized that my opponent played 2 Scizor, and I wasn't going to be able to deny enough prizes to make it work. So I scooped. Going to game two, I prized the Fighting Energy, so I can't aggress with my Cornerstones at all. I try to play slow and stall a Genesect for a while with Yveltal, while I try to like finagle some prizes so that I can find my Fighting Energy. Eventually, my opponent is able to Turo out of it, you know, starts attacking with Genesect first, actually, and then Turo's out of it. And then we get to a point where I'm trying to Iono to low, I energy switch, counter gain. I'm going in with Mega Absol as like a last-ditch effort to try and deny resources and sweep, and it just isn't enough, right? So we're starting 1-1.
If they could find a way to remove this part.
Yeah, this part, the fact that it's impossible to go to the bathroom, just a couple things.
The thing is, going to the bathroom is actually a privilege for finishing your round early.
Yeah, that's facts.
You earn the privilege by finishing your round early.
That's facts. Yes, we're like cattle, just being moseying on to our pasture. I don't know, Japan has people start rounds like...
That's just cringe.
No, that's the way.
Well, then your turbo deck will only ever hit other turbo deck members.
That's the way, dude. That's the way. Finish your round, yo, go get your next assignment, dude. Round 3 went a lot more smoothly than round 2. I played against another Goldango. This was Goldango with Solrock and Lunatone, and both games I was able to just get out double Cornerstone. I didn't prize my fighting in either game. It was smooth sailing. I mean, just demolish over and over again. He tried to poke me with Soul Rock a couple of times. It just didn't matter. I was eventually able to penny out of one cornerstone into a fresh one and continue swinging. There was really nothing that my opponent could do once I started using Demolish. It was over. So that was just a very fun round, honestly, because I just got to sit there, top deck for turn, and announce Demolish every single turn. It was pretty chill. We got the Full Grip locals here on the vlog. All right, we're gonna start off with Zach Pra. How's the day going so far, Zach?
It's going good. We're flipping scripts. We're bonusing coins. We're making it rain. Just avoid the Tord box and you're chilling. That's all you gotta do.
All right, and what's your record so far?
2-1. We do not avoid one Tord box.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
Hello.
Mr. Peacock, how's it going today?
It's going good. I played against Game Smart round 2.
Okay.
It was the Zard mirror.
Okay.
And I came here because I don't have that much time to practice. I'll play Zard, it's simple. And then I hit the hardest mirror that I can possibly think of, Game Smart with the Heroes Cape. Heroes Cape Zard, yeah, very difficult matchup. And
it's a big guy.
Yeah, it's 430 HP Pokemon. Yeah, how am I supposed to deal with that? So they just went ahead and 2-0'd me. The game, round 3, I played Grim. That also didn't go well. So I'm now 1-2, but I'm just gonna try to climb back.
The dream is still alive.
Yes.
All right, Dylan.
I think I caught the Pra disease.
Yeah.
I'm playing Goldengo.
Oh yeah, broken deck.
I've never played a turbo deck to a regional before. I've always played stage 2 or slow decks. This is incredible. This feels so good. I'm donking people.
You're drawing cards.
I'm drawing cards. I'm donking people. I don't have to sit there and make like a line that is like forever into the game. This is awesome.
You just knock out the guy in front of you.
Yeah, I just kill the guy in
with
front
the
of me.
correct guy on your board.
Yep.
And that's it.
If they hit into me, I Turo.
Yep.
You know, it's like not. It's nothing.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Nice. Yeah, it is beautiful.
And your record?
201.
Okay, all right. How we doing? We got
What up, Andrew?
Joe
What up, YouTube? How's it
Cornell.
going?
All right, how's it going, Joe?
Oh, it's going great. 2-1, same 60 as Dylan. Beat control last round. Sacked by Jelly Guardy. You know how it is. But all my opponents were nice. It's been a pretty good day so far. And I think we're teched out. I think we're poised to do pretty good here. So,
Okay, all right. Well, I'll be rooting for you boys. I'm very excited to see you all here. So good luck. Got there round 4. Was playing against a Gardevoir and had a really tough game 1 actually. Lost game 1. I needed Penny or Boss to win it, coming down the line to heal a damaged Absol, and I just couldn't find it. So then I had to Iono my opponent instead, and they ended up drawing the way to recover Screamtail and knock out my benched damaged Absol for 3 prizes. So that was tough. But in games 2 and 3, I set up perfectly. My opponent didn't get much going on game 2 and scooped early. And then game 3, I was able to establish double Absol with double Mist, and that's a very strong board against the Guardy deck. There's really not a lot that they can do about that, especially when you're removing their resources every turn. So it was a good set, felt good to get the win versus Guardy. I was definitely sweating after the game 1 loss, but that's why we're playing best of 3. Round 5, unfortunately, a tie. I played against Saraledge, and game 1 went great. It was a pretty long game 1, and really came down to the wire, but my opponent eventually scooped because I was able to trap some of his Pokemon that he didn't want active in the active with Clutch. And then game 2, it was very close. It really wasn't a game that I ought to have scooped. So like I played it out, and my opponent was able to reach at the end of the game with an Iono to hit 390 damage to 1-hit KO my Absol with Lively Stadium and Charm on it. So they got there, and game 3 just wasn't ever really going to conclude. So 3-1-1, it's not bad. There was 3 Jet Energy in my opponent's Saraledge deck, which definitely made the matchup a little bit more difficult, I think, as he wasn't really as bothered by Yveltal as I would have liked. But 3-1-1. If we can win the next 3, that would be great. We'll see. I hit Saraledge again, which is not ideal, and I lost 2 games straight. So
Now 3-2-1 is just not great. I think I'm out of top 8 contention at this point. Still in contention for phase 2 if I win out my next 2 rounds. So, maybe if I go on an absolute tear, I could actually place well. But at this point, I think Cerulege is just a really tough matchup for the deck. They could just get to that number. I think my opponent just did like 380 damage to win the game or something, 390 again. So they could just get to that number, and they play plenty of like jet energies to switch out of your disruption. My opponent just played 2 Turo and a pair of jet energies. So, I mean, there's just like a lot of options for them to move their guys. And there's a certain amount of like inevitability to it, especially with the legacy energy, being able to manipulate things. Just not great. So we dropped at 3-3-1. Had a just tough time against Terrabox. Dead drew in game 2, game 1. Things just didn't go quite right. And I lost. It's honestly pretty tough for me as a competitive person to kind of like be 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the competitive scene, to just try and like dip in sometimes. I just am very competitive. It's hard, right? Like I have a lot of drive, but at a certain point, like I've been doing it so long too that it's got me feeling a whole bunch of different types of ways. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I was filled with joy and whimsy yesterday, just playing in side events, getting to meet up with fans, getting to see a lot of different people. It was really cool. And having not been at many events lately, I really appreciate that part of this trip. So that was really cool. All right, we got an update from Joe. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great. 5-2-1 into phase 2 of the Milwaukee Regional Championships. I'm super stoked.
Beast mode.
Yeah. I was gonna make my opponent play last round. Checked the old Limitless page. Saw they played Dragapult in Pittsburgh. I was like, that's free. I'm gonna make him play. We were talking about it. I said, dude, if you show me a Cerulege EX, I will ID with you right now. And he did. He flipped it right over. So, I was like, okay, I'll take that, dude.
I don't want no smoke, bro.
Right, no, not like that. I dodged Cerulege all day. I dodged the cornerstones all day.
Oh my god.
I'm lucky and gifted and
Blessed.
very, very
Let's
skilled.
go.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, good luck in phase 2, brother. Get that cash.
Thank you,
Get that cash.
I'm
Let's go.
I'm bringing it home.
Let's go.
Since both of us scrubbed out, Jesse and I hit the road to drive back to Cleveland on Saturday night. I ended up getting home really late, but I was happy to be home as it gave me an opportunity to spend another day with my son, and I was really feeling pretty homesick and missing him quite a bit at this point. As for the tournament, it made me really happy to see our local players who I see week in and week out at Full Grip Games doing well on a bigger stage, and was so stoked for Joe making phase 2 of this event. Riley also qualified for phase 2 with a record of 5-2-1, and then went on to have a pretty good run, finishing in the top 128. I don't know when I'll get to attend my next major tournament. At this point in my life, it kind of feels like a luxury, a treat to get to go out to a big event like this. I've got a lot of other stuff and responsibilities going on, and honestly, competing at Pokemon is a hobby, right? It doesn't pay the bills, so I have to focus on the things that do. Lately, I've been feeling really motivated by the things that I can do closer to home, like tournament production and video projects. And I've got a lot of really exciting projects on the horizon that I can't wait to share with you guys. We've also got our next major release weekend cash event coming up soon at Full Grip Games. The Phantasmal Flames $6,000 cash doubleheader happening on Saturday, November 22nd and Sunday, November 23rd. So if you've ever wanted to make a trip out to Full Grip Games in lovely Akron, Ohio, definitely make sure to check it out at fullgripgames.com. And I know it's been a while, but I also got a new Tricky Hideout video that's in production right now, which should go out next week. So stay tuned for that as well. Y'all take it easy and have a good one. I'll catch you next time.